Hello, Canadians. Good afternoon. It's a wet one here in Ontario. Going to do a live. Going to go through some critical issues. I've had lots of comments, posts, a lot of new people or people who just don't really know how the world works or how our Canadian system works, especially how our Canadian political structure has absolutely embraced NWO across all aisles, all boards. You're never going to get the truth from any politician. You're talking to the truth. And absolutely, in all the links here, I back up everything I've been saying for years. And what's incredible, is the journey I've done on the world stage in the greatest universities in the world to bring these things to you by the most powerful minds in the world. Credited, well published, and this gift to all of you right here in the link. You can follow World Constitution Day. They're taking notice. Every time you guys cry out, every single one of you, you're not alone. There is a mountainous world of experts, lovers of freedom, the greatest minds in the world, who are hearing your cries, hearing everything you're saying. And you know what? You get the tremendous gift of every constitution in the entire world today, whether it's a UN state or the very few that aren't UN states. And we're going to talk about all that. We're going to talk about what the UN is. Again, I've linked the UN Charter of 1945, how the world actually works, this world constitution, and the rogue UN states from the General Assembly that absolutely wish to dissolve all that and send you, all of you, chasing your tails, giving up your sovereignty, and allowing large globalist multinationals to absolutely abuse you. They would love nothing more than you to give up your sovereignty, quit the UN, go out there in the world and allow them to just free for all. Justin Trudeau himself said, post-national state. That's his goal. That's the media narrative. And many of you, foolishly, because of the ignorance of the institution called Canada, the power of the politicians, have gotten you to try and champion that, getting you to give up your sovereignty. The leaders of the NWO look no further than Canada. I give you a comparative analysis of every constitution in the entire world, not done by me, but again, by the most powerful minds in constitutionalism today, lovers of freedom, from countries who have fought and won their freedom, who understand how the world works, best minds in the world. You can take it as you want, you can fall for narratives, you can chase your tail that will lead you exactly where the politicians have designed and led you to fall into this great pitfall. The UN is not the bad organization. It is how your country, your politicians narrate you on that stage. How your constitution or their lack of sovereignty leads you to be one of those rogue UN states. The charter's there for all of you to read. If you read that document in its entirety, through the preamble, through all the articles and sections, you're going to learn that the world isn't exactly operating as it's supposed to. And why is that? What are non-binding agreements, and why does your country sign them? Your country signs them because their constitution is against the UN, the founding principles of the UN, the constitution of the UN. Canada's not alone. There are many rogue dictatorships, puritocracies, civil law heavy socialists, regime running countries, and the world does fight back against the human rights abuses. But the UN Charter does not cover your civil rights. The UN Charter does not cover your constitutional charter rights and freedoms supposed to be enshrined They don't cover that. They cover human rights. They give you absolute rules in human rights, not in your charter for the country of Canada or your civil rights. Your politicians steal that from you. Those saying leave the UN are completely ignorant and have already fallen into the establishment. A lot of great people, they understand something's wrong, but they've fallen absolutely for false narratives by none other than the NWO, because they would love nothing better than to have Canada quit the UN, or you separate from the nation of Canada without UN status. They would love that. You can't travel. We're going to talk about some nations. Taiwan, the regime that was China, the Republic of China back in the day, and how the communism won, tossed out the Taiwanese regime. The Republic, no more as it was. The democracy gone. Now Taiwan, the island, sits there. Do you know to travel in Taiwan, you need your papers from the Communist Party of China out of Beijing? Do you know how many Taiwanese will never travel in their lifetime? Do you know how hard it is to even get into Taiwan? You have to go through the Communist Party of China. That's what happens when you're not independent, when you don't have UN state status. And the reality is, there are 5 countries that rule this world. If you're attached to Russia, or if you're attached to China, or if you're attached to USA, or if you're attached to UK, or if you're attached to France, geographically and politically, good luck. You're never going to get away. Chances are slim to none, because they have an overriding power. Now, this isn't the same for Canada. Canada is a country, a separate UN state. That gives us an advantage when we're trying to tell truths, when we're trying to get out the message to all Canadians. CCP will not change its name. There's no way. It is up to all of you to champion the truth, which is outlined right here in this video in the title. Absolute truth by the greatest minds in the world. There's not a politician alive, an expert in Canada, that can dispel anything in the title of this video. You will find it on www.worldconstitutionday.org. You will find the UN Charter of 1945 on www.un.org. You'll find that. Notice how they're both orgs. There are powers that run this world. You can learn anything you want to. Now, I've gone beyond world experts because I'm in a country, a UN state with regions. I've gone to the point of assessing all the countries' regional constitutions. I have a long way to go. It will take me years. I've ripped through the United States of America. I've spent more than 8 months analyzing each and every state. I'm going through Russia painfully. I could use Russia English speakers just to read in Russian those documents, and I can translate them very quickly. I need that help. There are many nations in the world. South America is providing, a lot of the countries of South America, there are quite a few. They're providing regional constitutions. I'm ripping through that as well to analyze just what Canada is versus everybody else. There's a lot Canadians don't know. You've been institutionalized, conned by all and every political party. All of them, right through the provinces and territories, right through the top Canadian political parties. Doesn't matter. Nobody's talking constitutionalism because nobody wants to give you, the people, the power. We, the people. That is taboo. There's no supremacy of God for all of you watching. In this title, pick a country. You can open it. You can even compare it. You can compare it. Australia has the supremacy of God through the Crown. Not Canada. You don't. Canada's even a step below Australia, which is very dictatorial. They're autocratic. No different. They give the absolute crown power, divinity to the politicians. But at least there's some supremacy of God there. At least it's introduced. Not so in Canada. And again, for all of those talking, supremacy of God is not a defined religion. That's also problematic in this world. You can just look at Africa through the Middle East, through South Asia. You'll find it's problematic when you define and mandate a religion on everybody. You'll destroy a country too. Supremacy of God is what you choose it to be, the freedom of choice, and the government is to give you that right. It's enshrined as a human right. You can fight for that. I'm trying right now on the ICC. The real court that no Canadian politician ever allows that narrative to go through to all of you, the people. Instead, you go to the International Court of Justice, which is voluntary for your country and all your politicians. They don't have to go. So you will never get any kind of judgment. You will never see any change whatsoever. And your government politicians will never be held accountable for their atrocities, even when they overlap human rights. You're going to the wrong court. Many organizations. Civil rights, we can talk about LGBTQ, BLM, we can talk about environmentalists, we can talk about anti-vaxxers, we can talk about religious folks, we can go on, right through to unions, all of it. When we get into your civil rights, they are not in any way, shape, or form constitutionally bound in Canada, not in any single region. You can open the Canadian Constitution. It's right here in the title. You can go scroll down. You'll learn all about Governor General and the absolute power to Her Majesty, which since 1952 is PM. That's reality. Governor General and Lieutenant Governor oversee all your courts, all of House and Senate. They're the ones who ascend bills and acts. That's how it is. There's no real democracy, folks. If a PM or a premier doesn't want it ascended, it doesn't get ascended. That's reality. That's what we're working on here. The CCP. Big C, little c, codified constitutionalism. This is the mandate of the CCP, the only party of its kind in all of Canada coming forward for all of you. An absolute truth backed up by the best of the best world experts worldwide. You will not find any graduate in any real law to come forward and say, this isn't real. This is reality. This is absolute truth provided by a political party for the first time in Canadian history. Absolutely. That's the truth. You can choose to share it. You can choose to fight the narrative, educate people. Don't fight with them. I don't bother. They're always going to come and they're going to try to say their narratives, even though CCP is not the legal registry of the Chinese Communist Party. You can call it that. And they say, oh, it's common to the Commonwealth countries. See what I'm saying here? Common to the Commonwealth countries. You've already been duped. They don't want you to know about big C constitutionalism or little c. Even Stephen Harper is trying to hijack big C, little c and conservatism. Stephen Harper's no conservative. He doesn't even fit the definition. There isn't a politician alive currently in Canada who fits the definition of conservative. Look it up in the dictionary. Pick one. You can pick Russia. You can pick Canadian Oxford for UK. You can pick the United States of America, Webster's Dictionary. Won't matter. You're going to find the truth that the definition of conservative is not any politician currently today. There's not one. There's been a few over the years. You can look at regions. Those who took the crown, who actually loved you, a good king or a good queen, very few and far between. Most will always gravitate to the absolute autocracy, stripping you of all your charter and civil rights, balance beaming on human rights. They'll break those too, as long as they know you're not smart enough to take them to the proper court, which is always and ever going to be the case, because nobody wants to change this system. This is the only party of the people, giving you, me, we the people, the power to do it. It's not that complicated. It can be done. This is the path forward. And it's always going to be given to you in absolute truth. The UN General Assembly is an ideas machine. An ideas machine, folks. They don't make international law, not unless the five say they can. And the five never do at the General Assembly. They never do. That's the term non-binding agreement, meaning it's illegal per the five. If your country signs it and imposes it on its people, they're in violation of the Allies. And Canada does it more than anybody, because your politicians don't have to be accountable to you. We the people, go read it. It's right here in this title. Click on it. Go through countries. You're going to find Canada is absolutely alone in their warped, sick, perverse constitution. Warped and perverse. You're peasants. You've always been peasants since the age of empires. Now that's changed. That's changed in the world since 1948, absolutely. 52, completely abolished from Canada. But your politicians all stole it. They took it. The Conservatives and the Liberals. They're one and the same. All the other parties gravitate to it too. Oh boy. I get you, the people, to pay me to fight for your rights. They're supposed to be enshrined. Provinces have charters. Bills of rights. They do. For your civil rights. But again, where's the Constitution for rules of governance and how to govern, absolutely restricting those who are going to represent you from stealing them? There isn't. There isn't. And federally, in that very limited Constitution, you will find the absolute power of the autocrats. There's no you, the people. There's no First Nations. Sure, spoken in a Constitution. Sure, we can sing "O Canada," but that's not legally binding on anybody. That's just a feel-good song. And a charter just sits there to be interpreted as the politician who's elected sees fit, with zero rules of governance or accountability. It has always been the problem with monarchies. They can be 10 times worse than any communism. There's nothing you can do about it unless you elect somebody who will destroy it. That's what we're doing. It's not complicated. We're going to fire the Governor General. We're going to fire all lieutenant governors of every province and territory. Appoint our own, sworn to you, the people. They will not let a single act or bill be ascended in this country. Government will run, services will run, everything will be okay, but no politician will be able to pass any laws whatsoever in any province or territory, as well as the federal house, until you, the people, get constitutionalism by the greatest minds presented to you, and you make the choice of how you're going to build your constitution in absolute comparative law. The work's already done. It's there. I just showed you the comparative analysis of every constitution in the world. Look at your country. Go look at a few. Just pick a few. You don't match at all. And then you start looking at which are the strong countries, which are the weak. Uh-oh. Trouble. And there's even more than that. People talk about the UN and get out of the UN. How are you going to trade goods if you're out of the UN? Explain that to me. Nobody ever tells you that, who's championing get out of the UN. Where are your supply and value chains? Because the countries who are not in the UN, they have to go to one of the binding 5 members, and they have to absolutely pay them to do it for them. Meaning, that nation sets the prices, and there is nothing you can do about it. Anyone can sink your ships. Anyone can down your planes. Anyone can refuse you any kind of legal rights in their country. You'll never be able to travel again. These things, seemingly people think they're just there and it's all good, all well done, no problem, everything's great. You leave the UN and you lose all of these things. Where are the people saying leave the UN, telling you where you're going to get all these rights from on the world stage. Because I promise you, before the UN, those weren't protected. The wealthy, sure, but they're paying for it. They're paying for it. But you, the average citizen, not a chance. Not a chance. Don't always just follow people's blind narratives when they haven't done the work. I always say, these people who say all these things, and people always tagging me, oh, this, that, oh, what about this? Do your own research. Does that group have published authors that you can trace in this world? Absolute experts? The answer is, for everybody, I'm sorry, 99% of what people message me is absolute BS most of the time. Absolutely, some individual with zero accreditation, zero proven track record in the world, never published a book in their life, or if they did, it didn't even get sold, didn't go anywhere, and no one backed them up. Nobody said anything they said was true. And that's the problem. A lot of people are full of it. And when you chase where they're from, you find out they're attached to your political structure system. And absolute, they don't care anything about you. They're a fellow pig at the trough generally, and they're looking to strengthen a position for an individual against all of you. CCP will never be associated with communism. We have the best of the best in the world that know exactly what this party is, what it's doing. They can't come forward because there's laws in this world. I can't go influence foreign countries. Foreign countries can't come into Canada and influence Canada. Now, we can exchange knowledge. I'm welcome to share and educate all of you as a Canadian, and I will. And I will continue to reach out to the absolute best of the best in the world and only give all of you 100% the truth. That's the great gift. You'll never find a politician who will ever talk in absolute truth 100%. Because how are we ever going to fix things? How are we going to make our country or the world a better place if it's all a bag of lies and we're going to continue to sell it, or sell half-truths, or only tell half the story to get somebody in power so that they can go with the other narrative to absolutely exploit all of you? That's what the political parties in Canada do. They are the tremendous enemy to you, the people. Always have been, always will. It will always grow. Sure, the General Assembly is cockamamie. Most of the world is dictatorial, autocratic, and civil law heavy socialist. This is reality. Near 70% of the world operates that way. And it's getting better as they're ironing it out, as people are ironing out their countries and their constitutions, amending, changing, making it better. But the reality is, most of the world's a bad place. And it's your country who's embracing that. They're taking the pockets, the back pockets, getting filled up with cash as they bleed all of you out, borrow against all of you. That's the truth. If I could tell you anything, that's the truth. And no matter what people say, there's going to be attacks. All the parties are going to attack our party. That's reality. Because politicians don't like honesty. They like a lie. You're supposed to take the money, take your place at the trough, and exploit each and every one of you. That's never going to be me. Not in a million years. I'll never betray the people. The oath and promise I give to all of you is we're going to see this through. You're going to get constitutionalism. I'm going to give we the people, which is all of you. Never been done in Canadian history. And it is a fight. It is a fight against powerful dictators, autocrats, who don't want to give up that power. But I'm going to continue to fight. And I need each and every one of you to share, to help educate. Take these links, save them, everybody. They're important. Everything you want to present, you have it there by the best minds in the world. There's nobody else that has that. Nobody else, because they're corrupt. And if they do, it's a Canadian expert paid by the Canadian system to tell you an absolute lie. You will never learn this in school. The education system in Canada is to keep all this from you. The education system of Canada is to keep the First Peoples down, to keep Canadians down. The canoe and the boat, they've always been subject to an absolute autocratic power, and your politicians have assumed it since 1952. They won't give you the power, not on their life. They want that power, they want that wealth. They don't care how they get it. They will slave each and every one of you and your children to come and your grandchildren to come and your great-grandchildren. It will only get worse. Canada doesn't have 50 years to change this. That's true, but we can get elected. That's all it takes, and we can turn this all around for every Canadian and every First person. The First Peoples, the First Nation. I say that because I'm white. I have to say that. I'm on the boat. They're the canoe. We can change this. We can change the entire country for all the people. It's just that easy, really it is. I've worked tremendously hard at that, at this narrative, to get out the truth. It is that easy. We can turn this around literally with an election any given time when called. But I need your help. I need you, the people. And you got to keep sharing. Don't get into the big fights. Don't get into people's narratives. Don't get the horse blinders on about individual issues. There's a big, broad sense of issues here for everybody. It is power to all the people. There's no reason why you can't believe in the things you believe. Follow those charter civil rights you like and have them. Absolutely. We shouldn't be divided as a people. This person likes oranges, this one likes apples. There should be no reason why you all can't get along and enjoy your individual liberties. There's no reason. The only reason we don't is because we've been divided by the political structure, the absolute autocracy of Canada. Who leads the agendas? Who signs more non-binding UN General Assembly agreements that have not been ratified in international law than any other nation? That's reality. These hard civil law socialists, these rogue regimes, these absolute despicable groups come to Canada because Canada leaves the door wide open for them. The politicians fill their back pocket and allow those people to rape you, the people, we, the people. That's what they do. And they get tremendous wealth at it. They trick you all into paying them. Donate to me, give me money. The tremendous gift you got in the title of this video cost an unbelievable amount of money. I didn't pay for it, but I give it to all of you. But somebody paid for that to bring it to you. A lot of work, lifetimes went into delivering this great, tremendous gift to all of you. And it's there for you, for free. Think about that. Think about that. Could your politicians ever generate anything remotely close to that? Not in a million years. Thanks, everybody. That's my video. Don't give your money to politicians who can't deliver, who don't deliver and never deliver. Why do you always have to pay for someone to fight for your rights? They're supposed to be enshrined. They're supposed to be there, whether that's provincial or federal. Provincial the civil or federal the charter. Why do you have to pay to constantly fight for your rights? They're supposed to be there. The problem is constitutionalism. There's no rules of governance, no accountability, or how to govern. We, the people, have never put that in, and we need to. The strongest countries of the world, you can compare in the link, all have that. You don't. You give your divinity, your absolute God worship to a politician. That's what we do here in Canada. That's our constitution. That's what we all do. Thanks, that's my video. Share, share, share. We can change this in one federal election. Should you elect the CCP, you can change it all overnight, bound forever. That's how fast it can be done. That's my promise to you, no lies, 100%. And if you think this country's done or there's no turning back, think again. There's a mass amount of Canada. It's waiting for all of you, and the First Peoples too. It's waiting for all of you. We, the people, can do this together. The United States did it. We don't have to do revolution. We can do evolution. In one federal election, we can transform the country forever. But that's up to each and every one of you. And all you can do is educate people. Educate, educate, educate. Coming, I hope, by the end of this weekend, if I'm not working Sunday, I'm having a meeting, and we're going to try and outline pages on social media in every single federal riding as we wait to be able to enter Quebec and the Atlantic provinces through this COVID nightmare. When that happens, we'll get that done, but there's no reason why we can't start setting Canada up for success now. And that's the plan, and we're going to have an outline for all of you, and we're going to teach you the path to success, how to get this done. Thank you. Bye now.